All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Honcast here on Tour Season 4 playoff action continuing to come at you here on what is our second of 3 weekends here for the Han Tour Season 4 playoffs. Here we are in what is our semifinal matchups. Of course, this being from the top portion, the winner bracket, whatever you want to label it as. The point is, we got these 4 teams going to be playing today. After today, they'll all still be alive, but 2 will be in those winner bracket finals, and 2, of course, bounce down to the losers bracket. Our first matchup to kick it off is Complexity Gaming versus Fresh here in this best of 3 series. Obviously, so important. These playoffs are the winning team ultimately going to Thailand to represent the North American European region and joining Sync Esports at those World Finals coming up in the mid-time of June there, June 18th and 19th to be specific. So, obviously a lot is on the line and looking forward to some great matches continuing on today. It's been some good content so far. We've had one of the craziest finishes even that we got to experience last weekend in one of the losers bracket matches. Can't wait to see what else unfolds throughout this one and the following even. But with that said, here we are, our first game. I am joined by a co-caster today, of course, and today I'm going to be joined by Regroste. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going well. Really excited for all of the games today, but this is such a good start to the day with this series.
Obviously, these 2 series here, you know, Complexity versus Fresh, and then, of course, we got, speaking of the other one, Bad Monkey Gaming versus Evil Corporation. Now, you know, I wouldn't be wrong to suggest that these are the 4 teams. These are the top 4 teams here in these playoffs, and basically, so far, the brackets have kind of worked out almost as expected, maybe a little bit different in the losers bracket, but the higher-seeded team has ultimately come out on top for the most part here. But this is a point, yeah, I mean, sure, Complexity's the higher-seeded team over Fresh. That doesn't mean they're going to win. I mean, from here on out, it's pretty much anyone's game. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know if you feel the same, but...
No, definitely. I think all 4 of these teams have the same equal chance to go. So I think that's the really exciting part about all this.
It really is. It really is. So here we are in our first game. So let's start talking about what we actually see here. Now, there's a quick note to point out off the bat here. There is unfortunately a bug within the game. I'm sure people tuning in, you may know of it or not, but it has to deal specifically with Parasite most specifically compared to the Juggernaut. The point is, the Wild Hunter camp, unfortunately, it's spawning 2 Wild Hunters and no Stealth Hunter. Basically making the point that you could take it over for Magic Immunity, but you will not get the stealth effect. In this case, you know, Parasite, the one hero that truly is affected by this unfortunate bug that's in the game. So, it's not game-breaking necessarily. In fact, we still see Mint picking up Parasite as we got the draft moving along here, but it is a little unfortunate that he doesn't have access to that stealth unit when it comes to setting up ganks here. But not the end of the world. Again, the fact that we see him here, I think, goes to show the hero's a pretty strong hero with or without that stealth hunter. So, Regroste said we got all this draft going on, though. I do my usual rambling on here. Look, I mean, just what do we see here? We get Parallax first pick by Mint is the first thing that I'm really noticing out of this draft that we got here so far.
Yeah, they do like their Parallax, and they've really liked it lately. So, I mean, both drafts just look pretty standard. It looks like it's comfort on both ends more than anything else. So, it looks like it's just, like no one really tried to counter anyone. They kind of just went for the drafts that they wanted. So I think that's a good sign for Game 1.
Is it I mean, the one thing that's really kind of Master of Arms there, the final pick for Complexity. I don't know if I'd call that standard.
Well, I guess for me, because I've been watching them scrim so much, it has become standard for them. But I guess in terms of actual competitive, like in tournaments, he hasn't really been playing it, but
yeah,
he has been practicing it a lot.
Gotcha. All right, so they're going to run him as the carry then? So Formless is going to be playing here, it looks like? Okay, interesting. With that, you also got Deadwood, and maybe not necessarily an everyday pick for them, but picked up here. And final pick, Wild Soul to top it all. Okay, so the drafts are, we got Master of Arms, Andromeda, Tundra, Lord South Forest, and Deadwood. And then we have Wild Soul, Pharaoh, Blitz, Parallax, and Parasite. So, but that final pick, Wild Soul, is pretty intriguing to me, mainly because there's a Lord South Forest over here. And hell, even Deadwood, in a sense, could be considered pretty good against a Wild Soul. So, what do you think about that final pick?
It's not my favorite, and you know, even looking at South Forest, Deadwood, there's even Master of Arms who has the massive minus armor. So, and the slow from Tundra, that's an awkward Wild Soul pick in my opinion. I mean, it's still Wild Soul. There's nothing wrong with the hero, but at least in terms of the heroes this game, it's not my favorite pick.
Yeah, absolutely. It really seems a little like one of those. Obviously, Probus is a very talented and smart player. He's a drafter of the team, and not to say he overlooked this, but it's not something you would expect to see. Yeah, with the lineup that is over here of Complexity, but it is Probus playing it. He has shown in that laning phase he could do pretty damn well with it actually. So hoping for that start here, I'm sure.
Yeah, they really needed that physical presence this game, and I guess that was their option because I guess they want him. I'm assuming they're going to want him to solo top. So I guess they needed a solo top that had a physical presence. So if that's what they were aiming for, then Wild Soul is a good choice. It's really hard against those Legion heroes. He's going to have a serious problem in team fights.
Yeah. Well, another kind of standoutish thing I think it's worth pointing out, of course, this Parallax hero, he's become a very, very popular hero all of a sudden. These playoffs especially, he's just kind of, we've seen him, I don't want to say every game, but in terms of the latter part of the Deadeye Bounty League and then here in the start of these playoffs, we've seen him a very good chunk from being banned initially to being picked up even pretty early on as we saw here. Again, first picked by Fresh. Now, Sasuke kind of leads the tier list, I think it's safe to say, as far as players that are really good with this hero and have proven that as well. So, but where do you think Parallax is coming from? Because it's not like he did get a little bit of buffs, but I don't think it was that necessarily.
It's such a strong hero in terms of mobility and fights, and there hasn't really been a intelligence carry other than Doctor that can really do that. And I think Parallax does what Doctor does, except just better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think what Doctor does is Parallax, just stronger. I think it's 5-second silence max level. It's so hard to deal with this hero running around in team fights, being naturally tanky because of Icon. And
for this.
It's a tanky hero that can fly around in team fights and cause disruption, I think is the big thing.
All right, well, again, Sasuke playing it. He is the one player right now on the scene. You think Parallax, definitely a name that comes up first here. So looking forward to seeing what he's able to do with this hero. Again, Fresh, they're also this team that, you talk about momentum, they won the Deadeye Bounty League. That's why they're here. Now, they had a little bit of a challenge in that first-round matchup. They actually ran into Druids. It took them the distance, and even that game number 3, it was either team's game. They ultimately came out on top, of course, but it was no easy victory by any means. So kind of really just goes to the credit of these playoffs here once again of really what is on the line. As far as Complexity is concerned, I believe they defeated Polymorph in their first-round matchup, which then went on to defeat, of course, Druids, as we saw in what was one of the most epic matches we've had in a long time there. So, all right, that's kind of like a storyline, I guess you could say, for these teams here. Scouting out the Hellborn jungle is Complexity. Of course, they got Tundra doing his thing with the Shiver.
Yep.
That vision up here. Oscar playing it.
So the other day when they gave Fuzzy Sloth the South Forest, he actually soloed bottom with it. So I think he's going to stay mid this game, but I mean, they have this Deadwood Andro combo, which could be pretty deadly together. The Sun into the Root can, I mean, practically just kill anyone with auto attack. So it looks like this could be a defensive tri-lane.
This is something, because, yeah, that's Sasuke, interesting point you bring up there with, well, what you got playing the Deadwood is. So this is really a roaming secondary support Deadwood here. Not the laning Deadwood. And I guess looking at the lineup now, well, yes and no, it kind of makes sense because they could have easily had Lord South Force in the jungle, of course, and then put Deadwood mid. Well, why did they not do that, you think?
I'm not sure. But it's actually, I'm not sure what their idea was behind it, but it's going to work out really well this game. Complexity got all the lane matchups that they wanted.
Yeah.
They're killing South Forest against Pharaoh, which, I mean, easily in South Forest's favor, and the defensive tri-lane to stop this Parallax. Like, whatever they were thinking worked. It's as simple as that. I don't know what they were thinking or what their mindset was, but it worked.
I think to the credit then, I mean, maybe this is the lanes that they predicted. And, with that Parallax go a long lane with the Blitz. Blitz is known as a very aggressive support hero, a lot of potential to go aggressive with, so perhaps that was in their mind. And again, as we saw at the beginning there, that's what took place. Now, Mint does make an early adjustment here, as you would expect.
Yeah.
You got Pharaoh now coming bottom. Now, will Complexity make an adjustment is the question. I mean, South Force is in the jungle now, as I say this. Of course, that's because there's two in the middle now, but...
Yeah, that's the positives, though, of having the South Forest in the mid lane. You know, they can let him push, and South Forest doesn't even need to show mid. He could just go farm the jungle, which is exactly what he's doing.
Well, that's working out pretty well. Safe to say for Complexity again. All three lanes really having a good time. You mentioned all three. Of course, the top lane, you know, Tundra not necessarily going to defeat Wild Soul, I don't think, but, you know, at least should be able to stay alive and get some decent last hits in there. But, yeah, probably would expect Wild Soul to win the lane as far as last hitting goes. Unless you have a different opinion.
No, it should 100% go into Wild Soul's favor, but it's enough that Tundra will get some last hits, get most XP, so I think that's still totally fine for them, and I think Complexity's totally okay with taking the trade to get South Forest and Master of Arms farmed.
Back to the middle lane. Look at Andromeda, actually. Making her way over here. Wants to get some experience. That's an illusion. Never mind. God. Freaking
skin.
avatars. This is one of these skins. It's like they're even standing next to each other down here. The real one and the fake.
Tell which one was
exactly. You have no clue. You have to actually highlight it to actually determine it. So, anyways, he counter wards right there the pole camp. So well played by Love there. Playing the Andromeda. Andromeda was their first pick on it. Who was it? Was it Andromeda? It was. Yeah. We've been seeing a little bit of that too. Andromeda kind of high priority here.
Yeah, and it's a really good hero with Master of Arms, with having no escape. Oh, bottom lane.
Yeah, they're going in. Bloodlust kill attempt right here. Pharaoh, there's the goo coming out. Blue goo in this case. Not going to be enough for the kill, though. Pharaoh kind of just walks it off. He just like, well, I'm just going to walk over here and eat a tree. Don't mind me. So, yeah, not enough to... If Andromeda's level 2 there, I think that's a kill. Because that Aurora, even at level 1, the minus armor on top of everything else, it probably provides enough damage, so...
Yeah, it's -5 armor, so yeah. Oh yeah, Pharaoh's way negative.
Yeah.
So
well,
yeah, could definitely be. Yeah.
-2 armor at level 1.
Well, plus Master of Arms goo.
Oh, got you. That's where you're saying that. Okay. I was like, I had to double check that. I was like, Andromeda -5 at level 1. That's more powerful than I thought. Holy crap.
Nerf that hero. No. I was putting them both together.
Gotcha. You're doing the math there. That's next level for me. So, Pharaoh does survive. That was the point. Coming up to 4 minutes right here. Still no Bloodlust kill. Not necessarily a huge surprise, but the case here. Master of Arms, so you mentioned, they've been running this Master of Arms in the hands of Formless here lately. I like to bring this up because it's not often we see him, so to reiterate it. Waza, the great lead balance man there. No, he's made a very good point to me that he thinks Master of Arms has kind of been one of these quietly really powerful heroes. He's almost surprised that teams and players haven't really started using him a lot more, because in his mind he feels like this should be one of the more dominant carries in the game. So you think that's there's justification to that?
I agree. It's just the problem is most of the higher tier carries have some sort of escape in terms of a blink, charging strikes away, Swiftblade has spin. This hero really just has a shield, so I mean, if he kind of gets caught, it'll protect him for the few extra seconds, but it's not like a Mage Man that can blink away, a Dark Lady that can, charging strikes away. So I think that's what sets him behind the other carries, but in terms of raw damage output and what he can do, he's definitely up there.
Yeah. He really is, and actually an interesting hero because also one of the very few candidates in the game that maybe a Thunderclaw could actually be decent on, of course, with that red gun of his. Now, I'm not saying he's going to get that here necessarily, but it's the potential of it, at least, is there. But, again, it sounds like you've seen this several times before. What should we expect to see on as far as items go?
I've noticed he likes to go the Nullifier, but it's still a good option this game. I really do like the Nullifier on that hero, but I don't know if he wants an item before that. I mean, a Nullstone wouldn't be terrible, more so for the Blitz and the Parasite, but I'm assuming he's just going to go Nullfire first item. I think that's what we should expect to see, but there could be some variation.
Yeah, Nullfire is also another one of those really very good synergy items, of course, with the Mana Drain. And didn't even Nullfire get slightly buffed even a little bit more? I feel like that item constantly just gets like slight buffs over time, like. constantly just buff, 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 buff. Yet we still don't see it. We are starting to see it a little bit more now. I will say that we're finally at a point where it's at least making an appearance, every now and then here in these games. But
Yep.
probably be seeing it again here with the Master of Arms. So looks like Blitz, Bunny Lover having some internet lag issues here. So
Typical Bunny.
yeah. I want to go back to this parasite issue that I talked about. I know you even pointed it out to me earlier in the week, and it's one of those things. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to get fixed for this weekend here. I don't know if you've had a chance to play with it or been seeing things, but how impactful do you think that actually is? I mean, not having access to a stealth hunter.
Well, I'll put it in great perspective. Yesterday, I jumped into a wild hunter. Or no, this was 2 days after the patch. I was playing parasite. I jumped inside of a wild hunter. I ran into the lane thinking I stealthed, and then I fed.
Okay.
So it was impactful for me, but I actually noticed it more so with Tempest than anything.
Oh.
For the simple fact is, normally you start medium camp on Tempest, and if you get stealth hunters, it's one of the best spawns for you. You take the stealth hunter, you instantly kill the wild hunter, then you go small camp. So I noticed it I noticed it more with Tempest than anything, but I think it's more Tempest and Parasite than anything else.
Yeah.
Because every other hero's pretty good about that. Yeah. So, but yeah, Tempest was kind of the big one that I didn't think about at first, but I realized it was pretty impactful.
Yeah. That's fair. That's definitely not a hero that came to mind when was thinking about, of course, Parasite really being the only one, but that's an interesting take on that too. So, yeah, but it is what it is. Of course, the players are aware of it. You'd hope that moment wouldn't happen where he jumps in the Wild Hunter. It's like, wait a second, why am I not stealth?
Dead.
Yeah, hopefully he's not gonna pull that off there. So,
nah, it's Denver. He's been griefing in TMM all week. I'm sure he knows.
Got that out of the way, yeah. All right, so we got Deadwood, by the way, here. So we've been in this pause now for a little bit, but he's in the middle lane now. So yeah, kind of some ultimate adjustments have happened. Fuzzy on that Lords of Force, of course, in the jungle now. So really, yeah, it really does feel like Complexity. They called the lanes from Mint, and then when the adjustments happen, I mean, they made these slight adjustments here of obviously Self Force jungle, Deadwood mid, and then just let Master do his thing bottom lane at this point. So
yeah, I think Complexity knew, like you said, they knew exactly what was going to happen. They even figured they'd rotate mid with the Parallax, and then now our Deadwood can play the kind of suicide role mid, and we'll just go put South Forest in the jungle. So, I mean, this completely worked out in favor of Complexity, at least from my standpoint. They have all three lanes that they wanted, and it puts Mint in this awkward start, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully Bunny Lover, where he connects here in the near future. Still no Bloodlust kill, but it's one of the cases obviously we wouldn't want to have a remake, even if that being the point, as we're nearly 5 minutes in. Pretty significant time here.
Hopefully we don't have a
kills.
A Balthazar thing that happened a while back.
Oh, geez, yeah. Unfortunate moments. Yeah, with what is on the line here and everything, I mean, it's definitely hope that it just runs smooth in the end is what you really kind of want to come out of it. None of these hiccups here take place. So not saying that's happening. Again, just hoping that won't be the case here. Obviously today, again, filled with some great matches here. Obviously this one, but then, of course, this is followed by Evo Corporation versus Bad Monkey Gaming. So another best-of-3 series that looking forward to a lot there. You got the defending Han Tour champions taking on Evo Corporation, who a lot of people were considering at least that this really all of a sudden really team to fear coming into these playoffs here. Now with the break that we had, and then of course their results in the Deadeye Bounty League, I think that did die off a little bit. But once again, there were the whole roster issues there with the DBL specifically, and that they're kind of going through. They didn't qualify for the brackets. It is a different team, though, here in these playoffs. It's back to their original roster, and talking with Nier, and even kind of seeing that last week a little bit, the matchup against Wapdash, they are definitely ready for these playoffs here. So, yeah,
definitely. I've even been talking to Nier and Imba, and they're really excited to play in these games. And that team on its best day is probably the scariest team in Han, in my opinion. It's just when you have a player like Imba and then a team around him like they do, it's just how do you stop such a strong team like that with just such solid players across the board?
And Han's been really fortunate, too, to have these brother combinations, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at all these other games, these esports titles, and maybe I'm just not looking closely enough, but it really doesn't feel like they exist as much as they do in Han, right? Where, obviously one of the most, arguably the best team ever in Stay Green, they had two sets of brothers at a time. Chessie,
Yeah.
Olymp, and then, of course, Swin and Melons and Z-Freak there. So you got that combination. You've got Imba Boy and Zane, of course, I'm getting at there. And there's even several that I'm missing. There was, what's the Greeks? What was their names?
Oh.
Not Panny, obviously, but
I
I'm blanking on the name. Somebody's going to say it in chat here when this catches up.
we just have to wait 6 minutes for
Yeah,
it.
God, I can't believe I'm blanking on the name though. It's been a while since we've seen them. They didn't play too much in this season, I don't think so. But there's those guys that solid players themselves. So yeah, it's
Sure, there's
fun.
been more too.
Oh yeah, I think more that we maybe didn't even know of. But it's kind of cool, knowing that and seeing that. You would think also that's kind of that extra bit of synergy too. The idea that they're brothers and
Oh yeah, I
grew up together.
Ironically enough, I TM'd them with Imba, Near, and Zane, and Zane would jump on someone, and then Imba Boy was instantly there 2 seconds later, like without saying a word. There, I mean, they might have been on Skype together. I wasn't in their Skype, but even then, like it was just flat on perfection of like jumping targets.
They don't say words. Watching them at
It's just completely
DreamHack, man.
silent.
Watching them at DreamHack was really something. That they were the most entertaining team, honestly, to watch at DreamHack, in my opinion. That being at the time Reason Gaming, but now Evil Corporation, of course. But yeah, Imba Boy and Zane, they're literally they're the quietest. They're just focused. They're completely focused on what they're doing. Then you got Tankafet there in the middle, just yelling out commands and being the in-game captain and being the very vocal man and very energetic there. So it's a nice blend right there. So, but yeah, they get it done. That's for sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, still not back here. No clue. He's not responding. That's never a good sign. Well,
Internet.
The internet takes a little bit for him to get back up there. Our losers bracket matches. Pull this up once again to show you guys. So we got again Polymorph. They defeated Team Druids to stay alive, and then Reason Gaming taking out Wapdash last weekend. So Wapdash and Druids officially out here in these playoffs. The losers of these matches will play those teams. Now, it'll actually be the loser of this one plays Reason Gaming, and then the loser of the later one plays Polymorph. So it kind of switches spots right there as far as the brackets go. So you're not playing the same team, of course. So, or the potential for it at least. So, but yeah, that's something to look forward to as well. Those will be tomorrow, actually. And again, while we are in this pause, might as well get this out of the way too. I personally will not be here tomorrow. Matthew Madical actually going to be stepping in once again here on Honcast. He's been doing it a couple times here lately, and good to have him on and stepping in here for these broadcasts when need be. He'll be here tomorrow to cast those series that'll be taking place. So those elimination matches. All right, probably want to throw out a pause here, or not.
There we
go. That's the server on pause. That means it's been 10 minutes now. So what I think we're going to do, when that happens and we're still not good, I think it's time to go on a break here. So we're going to go on a break here, guys. Hopefully, again, that he eventually is able to return here. And again, when these matches with what is on the line, you really just hope that things just run as smooth as possible. So it's no fun for anyone here if this is the case. But not blaming anyone. Technology can be a bitch sometimes. So, anyways, guys, stay tuned. We'll be back. We got game number 1 here. Fresh versus Complexity. Hopefully, we'll be resuming shortly here with game number 1. Stay tuned, guys. It looks like we may be resuming here pretty shortly. Looks like he is back on and just getting on Discord here to communicate with the team. Of course, important there. Sounds like he may be playing on some mobile internets here, so. But making do with what he has, basically. It does sound like his internet did go down. That's what the communication was there. So, yeah, once he's in that Discord there, hopefully going to be good to resume action here.
All right, it was Fabunco and Fabelli.
Ah, that's right.
That
yeah.
was
Okay.
That's what it was.
I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, of course, when I hear it, it's so obvious. But
yeah, but when you're like trying to go, who was it?
Yeah, on the spot, and God, I've been doing this for what, 6 years now? A little over 6 years. Learned a lot of names over the years. So a lot of things have happened here. But yes, those are the players that I was thinking of. Yeah. Freaking chat, man. Swear to God. Chat's in one of those really outlandish moods today, man.
It is alive though.
And by chat, I mean like
totally
2 people.
Amped for this.
Because that's how Twitch chat works. Yeah. Okay. It looks like we actually are back. Yeah. So Bunny Lover back here, and again, it's unfortunate, but we want to make sure again with what is on the line here that he is good to go. I know he feels bad maybe delaying things, but honestly, you really want both teams to be at their best here. So hopefully he's good. And the game resumes on. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes here since we've had some action. So kind of recapping where we're at. Lord South Forest, he's rotated to the jungle after starting in the lane. They've sent Deadwood middle, as we talked about. The lanes have kind of now flushed out to where they're going to be. As far as top farmers, I mean, Master Farms and Wild Soul have really been competing here for that top farm spot. Parallax and Lord South Forest are kind of in the similar next in line. So pretty even curve here as far as the teams go when it comes to goal per minute. Tundra is the one that drops off a little bit compared to the Parasite over here, but nothing too dramatic necessarily. So still no bloodless kill, though, as we are now at 6 minutes into the game here.
Yeah, I'd like to see complexity with this kind of mobile lineup make a play mid lane on anything, really, because, I mean, they can root the Parallax, and he can't move. And with the stun and South Forest, that could be a really easy kill. So it'd be nice to see them maybe rotate over there.
Trying to make a play happen, but maybe even waiting for the level 6 as well on Deadwood, of course, gives him that insta-kill capability himself even. So see if he's able to find that opportunity or not. He's got to be pretty close to level 6 now. Yeah, just about there. A couple more creep kills, seems like. Then he'll be good. But, yeah, I mean, still no bloodless kill, though. About approaching now 7 minutes into this game here. Maybe a little bit surprised. Definitely there's potential for that on both sides. But yeah, with the level 6 is starting to appear, perhaps a different story. And the level 6 that's pretty impactful is this Pharaoh, actually, being played by a different guy. We'll see if he's able to make a play once he hits that mark. Always good to see. What is the Shiver doing up here, by the way? Shiver all the way up here at the top lane. Kind of just
chilling
on the tower.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just maybe he just wants vision of the tower for TPs in, or
that makes sense actually.
Probably getting ready for the Pharaoh to come up here, because I'm assuming they know he's going to be 6 soon. So, and Tundra would be relatively easy to kill, but it looks like they're going to try to make a play top, and this could be a very dead Wild Soul.
A very dead Wild Soul, yes. It really could be extra dead.
Probusk is playing very well, though. He has the idea that someone could be up here.
Yeah, unfortunately in Vizrun.
Bunny has a ward that was behind Tier 1 tower.
Oh, good point.
I think that ward saw him.
That has to, because, there's no other reason why he's playing so defensive right here. I mean, South Force has been in the jungle, so it's not like they're making an obvious missing call here. So he's going to keep roaming and going to find Parasite over here. Also almost found Blitz, but look at that. They move away. God, it's like, it's almost as if they can see him. I mean, that
God vision
right there. Yeah.
I thought we had God vision.
That was pretty ridiculous. But Parasite is in a lot of trouble and probably dead trouble. There we go. what you got with the Willowmaker. Honestly, I don't even think that was necessary. He had a double damage run even, but just to make sure, gets the kill. Bottom lane now, Wrath of the Pharaoh used on Master of Arms. Here comes Parallax, as I'm talking about. You got these level 6s on both sides, and they both have high impact. Now, Bloodlust 4 complexity, but at least Mint gets the carry kill.
Yep. Very important, and Probus being so passive top lane and not dying is so important there.
So he's back now pushing that top tower. Yeah, definitely good for him. He's able to survive through that. And going to be porting elsewhere. Looks like over here to the triple stack Ancients. Yes, sir. That's wild. So he's pretty good at this. Bombs his ultimate and just starts stomping here. So going to be able to farm this down pretty efficiently. Pharaoh's even coming in just for some assistance that he may need right here. So Parallax, though, getting that kill at the bottom lane. Jumps up to 330 GPM now. Already has a Beast Heart now even delivered to him, so he's almost got the Icon of the Goddess finished already. Oh.
Yep, that kill was pretty big for him. He got it as well, so yeah, could have an Icon as little as 12, 13 minutes, and then if they start roaming, with because the Pharaoh Parallax combo could be pretty deadly to anyone, so actually, that's deadly to everyone, so if they catch someone, they're gonna die.
Yeah. Guys, you saw Forrest here. Double, I think that was double triple stack camps that he just pulled together and just took them out. So obviously very efficient at farming that and cleans them up pretty easily. He's level 9, tied with Wild Soul. That's actually the highest level in the game right now. Not too surprising with that. Meanwhile, Tundra, 1380 gold saved up, so he's working towards that portal key. Seems like he's doing a pretty good job of it. Deadwood's up here now. Parasite in trouble again. He's got the Pistula. Oh, gets caught there. Has to come out, and he is definitely dead. Again, the Willowmaker just to guarantee the kill. Top lane. So.
That looked awfully painful.
Yeah.
Yep, but good kill there. Really good kill. Killing Parasite twice really slowed him down now.
Bottom lane, Pharaoh, he gets caught too, though, but going for the turret kill. Does have a lot of support coming in, actually. And Lord Salforce, all of a sudden, he's the one in a lot of trouble now. And he will fall. Pharaoh actually stays alive through it all. You see Master of Arms and Andromeda not going to give it a chance right there. So well played there by Fresh in terms of reacting to them. And they deny the tower on top of that. So overall, a very good sequence for them.
Yeah, they're really on point there. Those really good TPs there to get the turn kill on the South Forest. And we're looking at one really good game that's going to happen.
Yeah. Would expect nothing less here in both series today, of course. Expecting definitely could be 3 games in each longer day, but that is just fine, as that means it's going to be some good hunt, of course. So, portal key just about there for Oscar, so he's going to be having that now as he cleans up last bit of the creep. So it is kind of interesting, though. You know, we were both kind of a little bit critical on the final pick Wildsley here. Now, I guess it's not a surprise that he's actually getting great farm. I mean, that's just how the hero works. It's Probus playing it, whatever you want to say. It's almost expected. But the question that you and I were both having was, how was this going to work now as we got to this mid-game transition? Because, you know, with the Lord South Forest, the Deadwood, the minus armor across the board in general, which they have tons of, how good is he truly going to be here? So, it's not, but again, it's not surprising to see him at this GPM at this point, though.
No, definitely not, and I'm sure now with this lineup they can try to set up kills on him as well, so yeah, it's sure his early game impact is going to be impactful because he's going to have 500, 550 GPM, whatever it is, but it'll be more of like these fights right now if they can catch him.
You see right here, he's actually stealing some Ancients, or attempting to, using that boo-boo of his, and actually gets a couple, I believe. Ultimately, Lord South Forest and the team, though, kind of pushing back. And we'll finish off the rest of them, but a nice little steal there from Wild Soul, keeping them busy. Glowstone just purchased on Parallax, so again, he technically has the components now for that Icon of the Goddess. As I say this, Deadwood's roaming up here with the Invis rune. Again, he's already gotten a couple kills, both on Parasite, and look at this, he finds Parasite yet again. Oh boy.
Yeah, he's going to die again.
Good. They want Parallax, but they realize he's not there anymore.
Oh, he's gonna jump out of the creep too. It's so sad.
Oh yeah, that's obviously nothing he can do there. Denver to God. Did he change his name again? He did, didn't he?
Yeah, he always does. He's Denver.
Oh,
he's Denver the Griefer.
Oh yeah, he's got the 3 deaths, but it's just been because of that roam really from Deadwood. That is actually middle lane. That's a big kill, Parallax, and they get it. He had the icon or the wow, I'm blanking on what they're even calling out the fulcrum shift out. Tried the ionic dash to it, and he was unsuccessful. So good lockdown. Yep.
And then Allfire was picked up first by Master of Arms, so at least I was right about that.
There you go. Very well played there, and yeah, not easily, but able to set up the kill.
Dude,
on a Parallax there. Yeah, the No Fire Blade, especially this game too. Now thinking about it against Parallax, draining that mana, pretty solid idea.
Yep.
Draining the mana quickly. With this
good against Blitz. He hit Blitz a couple times, and the mana pool on that hero is already just bleh. Yeah. So hit him a couple times, and he's really could be completely useless in these fights.
Good point there. It feels like, though, you talked about the idea of escape, yeah, his mobility, maybe not necessarily that great compared to perhaps other carries. Does he need like a portal key, you think, or even Assassin Shroud? Should he be getting one of those?
Talking about Master, right?
Master of Arms, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Shroud's a good option. I do like Shroud a lot on the hero. Portal Key's not my favorite. I think we saw someone on, I want to say Chaos Master?
Yeah.
I mean, it was someone on Hex, I want to say a while ago, that went Portal Key on Master of Arms. Not a big fan of it, rather just the Shroud. Yeah, he needs some sort of mobility. Maybe Shroud. Yeah. Shroud could be a next good option. Or he could even go Geometers if he wants. Geos does so much for him this game, actually. So Geos is a good option. He has a couple good options this game.
And also, it's interesting synergy, too, with Master of Arms. With that Master's Call, I mean, in the offensive sense, for heroes, both Deadwood and Tundra, actually, are very good heroes with that offensive Master's Call here. To throw it on them as they're ganking somebody. They could both get solo ganks with that ability, I think, nearly anyone. Probably other than Wild Soul, but a lot of potential, at least. So it's just a nice assistance. It's one of those cases, it's like a Sandwraith idea where he won't be there necessarily himself, but he will be able to assist for that kill without being there.
Yep. And Tundra and Deadwood, I think, are getting close to their 11s. Yeah, both about halfway. So, and we know how impactful Deadwood's 11 can be. I mean, that's when he can start solo killing anything that he wants, even without the Master's Call. So.
Very true. You know a hero that's actually really good on the Master's Call is Rally. The seismic slam. It makes it almost so instant. Quick, yeah.
Yeah.
The channel of that ability is so frustrating to play as Rally, but when you get a Master's Call, it's just like you're not gonna miss it, really. So.
Boom.
Yeah,
instant.
Pretty much
totally
instant.
Amped for this.
Don't have a Rally though. All right, good to go though. They're in this game here, so yeah, we got our case of Probus doing his thing of. A lot of farm, but it does start to drop off a bit after him. Kinda. I mean, again, Parallax is still 320 gold per minute, so it's not like he's doing horrendous by any means. Sasuke is accomplishing, but as we've seen before, lately here, this is a hero that requires farm, no doubt. Him and Wild Soul, for that matter. So it is a pretty greedy lineup here when you look at it from that perspective from Min.
Yep. Definitely agree with that. Oh, bottom lane. Oh, this is a very dead Pharaoh. If they hurry before Parasite gets there.
Parasite is coming. He's here now. Well, they're going to go for the rock grass. There's a land. The Falcon Punch comes out. Parasite with the response. Deadwood might fall for this. As a lot of TP support. Andromeda swaps him out, though, and Andromeda's going to try to bait them the other way. Smart play by Love right here. Meanwhile, the Shackles come out of the Master of Arms. That's going to slow him enough and to get the kill onto him. Now, Blitz, however, might be in trouble himself still. Yep, Deadwood jumps back in and throws a log and secures that kill. This is one of these fights. It's different stages of it. And actually could come out for the better in the end for Complexity. Maybe not. The Wild Soul. He's so tanky. Here comes the Earth Shatter. Wild Soul going to survive. Down goes multiple heroes. Finally, Wild Soul does go down. But Lloyd South Forest will fall as Andromeda was actually the only one to live out of all of that.
That's ironic.
She was sacrificing herself, essentially, and she's the one that lives. But that's honestly the heads up to Mint right there to not take that bait, really.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, really heads up play by Mint there to even take that fight. I mean, Complexity chose to stay, which I think was definitely the wrong decision after what happened before that. So it ended up being a really good fight for Mint, and they definitely picked the right targets and when to go. So
yeah,
definitely credit to Mint. But yeah, I mean, that fight didn't really skew much of this game, just a little bit in the experience lead. So, still that same close game.
You know, I'm watching the replay right here too. Yeah, it's again, Mimic clearly made the decision. It's like, why would we waste our time on Andromeda? Let's go for the others. They just did not even fall for it. I will say, it's hard to tell from the replay right here, so I'm not gonna be too critical on it. But you know, having that no fire blade, whether or not it was on cooldown. In fact, I kind of want to watch it again real quickly just to make sure of that for Master of Arms, as it's hidden by the picture in it. It was off cooldown. I guess he might have got stunned in the process, though. But it seemed like he had the lightning shackles on him for a little bit before he got stunned, and I'm pretty sure you can purge that off.
No, you cannot.
You cannot? Okay, then
No,
I'm dumb, and never mind. Formless is
actually, what you got and I were discussing that the other day. I was saying, can you shrunken head it off? Can you null fire off? You can't do anything to stop the shackle.
Dude,
And I think that's when I was like, oh. Wow, Blitz is so much better than I thought he was.
Wow, that's surprising to me. It's really, like, I understand that it goes through Shrunken. It's superior. I thought it was, so, wow, really? You cannot even purge it off? Wow.
That's what we were talking about. So, I mean, we didn't test it, but
Okay.
I was actually using a null fire. Oh, you can. I lied.
Did he just do it right there?
I lied. Okay. So what you got's a liar. I'm a liar, but what you got's the bigger liar here. But he did purge it off.
I like how you made the point. It's like, we didn't actually test it, and then sure enough, he does it right here in game to show us. So,
All right, Blitz is a bad hero. Just kidding.
goes
Just
back to
kidding.
that. Yeah, no. I was gonna say that seemed pretty ridiculous to me. So, but yeah, point is though, it's okay. So it is purgeable. Whether or not would have stayed in there, whatever. He does die again on here though, as he was pushed up a little too far. And between Parallax and Blitz, they take him out. So, Master, I was going to say he's dropping a little bit, but honestly, he's still upwards of 400 gold per minute despite that. Second death right there. He just got a Firebrand. Of course, we're pointing out.
He's just so squishy, though. He might just have to go Shrunken Head now or something. He's just... If he gets caught by anything, he's just going to feed no matter what happens, so...
Yeah.
Even with Andro behind him, might not be able to swap him in time. Looks like they're gonna get this top tower for free as well.
Yeah, pretty easy top tower push there. Wild Soul, who's working on a Frost of Skull, looks like. So going there. Is anything on Boo Boo? Not really. Just the red boots. And that's basically it. So focusing 100% on himself, really, at this point, is Wild Soul, which that's, of course, the way that we see it nowadays. And they're going to go for the secondary tower, too. Now, Shiver in the background is going to at least spot Pharaoh over here. They're going to kill it, but that gave complexity to the information that they were looking for. That there's more here than meets the eye. So, Devo, by the way, interesting follow-up. He gets a Void Talisman here on himself.
Yeah?
I guess Wild Soul,
really,
sure, but...
I don't think that was worth the 1,400 gold investment, but I feel like he could have... Shrunken is just so core this game that even just start working on a Shrunken now with just the extra HP might have been so much more impactful. Not a big fan of the Void Talisman.
Yeah. On the other side of it, Parallax, it makes a ton of sense, of course. So,
yes.
You know, there's a lot of reasons why it's a great item to have for him. But, yeah, the Deadwood, because it's almost like, it feels like it's going to be more negative in a lot of ways because of just how much magic damage surrounds this Wild Soul, especially Parallax. So, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely with you. I feel like the Shrunken would have been the better priority here, but likes a Void. He is 4-1-2 here, so again, it's been a great game for Deadwood so far. As far as impact goes. There's the Frost of Skull, by the way, too, though, on Probusk.
And there's Kongor. Right? They're going to deorder around. It's so easy when... Well, maybe not. It's really easy when Wild Soul has a Frost Wolf and just being Wild Soul. So, I guess they don't have the best vision for it right now, and that's probably the right decision. So,
it's funny how you say that because at the same time, literally Probusk just walked through the Legion jungle with no vision. It was just like, this is going to be fine. And I mean, he ended up being fine, but to me, it felt like that there's a chance that there might have been people there that could have jumped him with them going out of the Conquer Pit. But he is fine. Maybe they were elsewhere and I didn't notice that, but still seemed a little funny there. Here comes the bottom tower push, though.
Hellborn Freddy's destroyed
Again, that
Legion
goes
Tower.
quickly.
Yep.
Maybe also doing that to kind of open up this bottom area a little bit more here to then eventually do Kongor. Coming up here. They want to go on this top lane, but yeah, with it being wild, so it's a tough call, and you got to figure support's nearby. So not going to be worth it. They go elsewhere.
I mean, at this point, I'd like to see the Salforus and the Master of Arms pick up Shrunkins and then start maybe trying to force fights, but them trying to force a fight right now with Salforus is just going to melt instantly.
Yeah.
He's going to get silenced. He's not going to be able to cast. It's just really need Shrunken heads on the core heroes.
There goes that Kongor. Come back to it, and again, they really don't have the best vision, honestly, but this time, okay, there we go. Another the war site's put down. Now, there is a war site here. They had a puzzle box out, but actually, you must not have seen it, because it's basically seeing all of this Kongor happening, but I don't think Complexity is really interested in defending. Yeah. They're not going to risk it. Do you like that decision to not defend?
Yeah, I don't think they could really force fights right now. At least in that respect, in a Kongor pit, you know, closed, isolated areas, they're just going to get taken over by the Parallax. So
Yeah.
I do like them not fighting. Fuzzy Sloth has enough for the Shrunken Head. Just buy it. Do it. I mean, he might just want to save for Sheep, but... And it wouldn't be a bad option to get Sheep. It's just I feel like he's going to be so useless in these fights because he's going to use his spells and then just not be able to cast anything in any, you know, the rest of the fights.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Sheepstick, it's hard to, you know, criticize that too much too, but he does get the Shrunken Head. So he will have that more mobility now as a result of that.
Yep.
Right here, so gonna have that delivered there at the top lane. Do you see Wildslow? He's the one, of course, that picks up the token. I say of course, but actually, I think there's argument to be made that they could have given that to Parallax.
I look at Parallax the same way you look at Doctor, where it's like you want Parallax to have the token because you want him to have full mana and be able to fight again.
Dude,
Well,
Hellborn Freddy's
they give it to
destroyed
Wild
Legion
Soul, so
Tower,
obviously this
dude.
does give them the extra
Legion
sieging
Freddy's
capability
destroyed
now.
Hellborn
He can
Tower.
really just go up here and not give two craps really about dying, because, well, he has a second life. So gonna stay at the range for him here at this point. Go away at the tower. Now the top secondary was also pushed in the meantime by Complexity, so they do get a little bit of a trade there. But ultimately they have to defend, which they do get back to do. Kinda. Master of Arms actually stays at the bottom, and that is enough though for Mint to get back here. They're not going to force the issue. So despite having that token of life, they feel like it's a little too early still, and you can't blame them. But definitely a chance there that they could have taken to make that push happen.
Yep.
Wait a little bit longer on the token, perhaps, before going back in. The Warhammer picked up on Master of Arms. I'm going to assume that's going to be a Shrunken.
Yeah, I think they're kind of seeing the same thing that I'm seeing of if they don't get Shrunkens on core. I mean, even Tundra, Oscar, known for going the puzzle box in there, on the Tundra is most likely going to go to Shrunken as well.
Yeah. It's clearing out this jungle pretty efficiently. Is Formless there. Again, really keeping up the fairly high GPM, and he is a hero with definitely potential to flash farm, so I guess it's not too surprising, but yeah, for the 450 gold per minute, not too shabby, and again, over 400 for Lord South Forest here. Tundra has kind of been quiet for a little bit, and he's got 3,700 gold saved up, so, I mean, he too maybe going for that Shrunken Head. Yeah, all of a sudden, this idea of, like, prioritizing the Shrunken Head is becoming very real here on Complexity's side.
Yeah, and it looks like you'd like to get some base damage top lane.
Bottom secondary tower is going to fall, though, in the process, and that's now all outer towers. Yeah, all outer towers have been destroyed here by Fresh, so they're going to be working on the base next. Again, Wildsoul still has a good minute or so, I believe. Yeah, minute 30. Goes to the middle tower. The fifth out of the 6 towers taken out by Complexity, so good job by them again getting a little bit of trade there as they get the middle secondary. And they actually are going to keep them from pushing. Is Fresh being a little too passive here, you think, or is this fine with them resetting?
I don't like them resetting. I feel like if they start waiting too long and they start slowing down the pace, it's just going to start going slowly in favor of complexity, just for the simple fact of Sulfuras is now getting closer to his sheep stick. Tundra's even saving the gold because he himself doesn't really need the shrunken yet. And I mean, he can easily pool and buy a sheep stick in, 1,000 gold. So they're taking this too slow when they had a token and maybe should have forced a fight, but it's gonna be interesting.
Well, I didn't even pick up on this. There's a lot of things going on here with the item progression, but one that we kind of overlooked was the Staff of the Master on Parallax.
Ouch.
Yeah, he got this. I saw him with another glowstone, but it didn't hit me until, he hasn't finished here with that. So that's now half reduction on the cooldown, as well as superior magic now.
The slow is so much.
Too,
yeah, through the shrunken head, it's just.
It's annoying.
I don't even know how big the slow is. I think it's just.
Slow,
okay,
30%.
Up to that's so with shrunken heads on, that's a pretty nasty slow. So definitely a good pickup, and knowing they're going to be getting shrunken heads, I do like it a lot.
Yeah, no, the slow's great too, but obviously the idea of the damage going through on top of that is intense as well. So it makes sense why I got it here, because we were just talking about how Lord Sulfuras and Master Varus really sort of prioritize shrunkens. Well, now those are a lot less impactful against the likes of at least Parallax. I mean, they're still good, still prevents the silence, the CC from other heroes, but Parallax is able to at least do his damage now efficiently. So I was wrong on Tundra, though. He's now got 5,100 gold saved up here, so I guess we are going to be seeing that sheep stick.
Maybe, yeah.
Now.
I mean, I'm just looking at top lane, how well he's done. That base tower is at 450 HP, and it's really just been him pushing.
Yeah. I'm just looking at that minor totem and buckler he has on him with 5,300 gold. I mean, it seems like the most efficient thing possible.
I think so. I think he should just go buy the 2 duck boots, get the iron shield. That's really what he needs.
Yeah. Get a power supply while he's at it.
That's true. Gotta get the value out of those items.
Yeah. Ugh, I hate seeing this. But he almost has the sheep stick. Again, that's what we assume he's going to go at least. So.
I mean, look at it this way. If he dies twice, he has double buyback.
Yeah. With a portal key.
With a portal key. That's all he needs,
That's
right?
it, yeah. I guess that's decent. Master of Arms, by the way, an Arcana purchased. Interesting. For him, is that... What is that? A Hellflower?
It could be a Harkon's.
Oh, did they really have the most armor? I mean, they already got so much minus armor. Like, I feel like Harkon's would be unnecessary. Yeah.
Kind of goes away from what their team already does in terms of armor reduction. So, yeah, it could be a Hellflower, and I mean, for the Parallax, that could be huge.
True.
So, I like the idea. But I think it's going to be more of if that's what he decides to go. Because he could still quite possibly go Harkons for all we know. But, that's the last outer tower taken.
Denied, but yeah,
Denied.
Nonetheless. God, I gotta say, I really would not be a fan of Harkons though if he does go for it, because it doesn't feel like it's a obvious Harkons game here at all.
Oh, I'm with you 100%.
Hellflower, I do like the concept of it. As you're saying, against Parallax especially, it could be pretty useful. But then the issue is, does he have that catch potential? He doesn't have that portal key or the assassin shroud even, as you were mentioning. So the idea of him getting it off effectively in the midst of the fight on, say, the Parallax, it's not as likely. So, Booby's going to die here, by the way. All right.
Oh, feels bad, man.
Yeah.
Rip the tiger with that skin. So,
True.
Tiger down, but... Yeah, I think he's using the logic that I was using earlier against the Parallax, where Parallax will be jumping around so much in team fights that hopefully he just happens to jump onto the Master. Maybe that's what he's going with, and then just instantly Hellflower him. So, it's not a bad option. I mean, it gives him a lot of damage as well in the attack speed. So he really doesn't need attack speed. It's not necessary, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. You know, for those, I saw a little bit at least of it going on, the idea of silver betting. It's active for today, and you've got the chance, if you have the codex there, to put your silver bets down. Again, not only on the team that's going to win, but there's also a couple of those prop bets there. You got the Bloodlust kill, which did go to Complexity, I believe. Yeah, it went to Deadwood. Yeah, the first tower kill, which honestly I'm not sure. I think that went to Mint at the top tower. I think so. But
does denying count as?
I don't think so, actually. I think it actually has to be the first tower killed.
Okay, because the bottom tower was denied first.
Okay.
By Mint, but I think Mint took the first tower top.
True. Okay, that's it. So yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, I think Mint would have had it. And then what's another one? First to 10 kills, I think is the last one though.
Oh,
we're not there yet.
close.
This is quite the slower game.
Wild Soul just purchased oh god, what's it called? Dancing Blade. Dancing Blade, almost said Eagle Horn, but yeah, the Dancing Blade, so he's going to be working on a wing bow now.
That wing bow, very good for him, of course. He's able to get that here, becomes very good with the right click. And that evasion's going to be huge against Master of Arms, so. And he's not getting a Savage or anything. Okay, he does go Harkons. It
highly
really,
disagree.
Yeah, I do not get. I mean, yes, Wild Soul has a lot of armor when he activates his ultimate. I mean, he has 27 right now, so yeah, he does have a lot of armor, but they have a lot of minus armor to work with across the board.
Oh.
I don't know. It seems off.
Okay, I guess in his eyes, okay, him going Harkons tells me they want Wild Soul dead first.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna all in the Wild Soul. And if that works, then great. It'll be a great item. But if Wild Soul just lives, then it's going to be a wasted item. It's going to be useless. But now they have double Sheep. They have 2 Shrunkens. I mean, this is where I was saying maybe Mint waited too long because they're going to have trouble getting this Kongor. It's going to be completely unlike the last one.
Yeah. Well, here goes Kongor. You see the Sheep Stick on South Force and Tundra is talking about. So 2 great items to have there for a possible big fight to take place. And I mean, it feels like Complexity's definitely ready to fight now, but they are being very patient about this.
Well, there's the bird. The bird's going to spot it.
Yeah, the Shiver is going to scout things out. He sees Parallax too, yeah, because of the Veiled Rot.
Oh, this could be a really interesting fight.
Well, there we go. South Force is going to be jump first, actually, in the background over here. Already at half life. And over here, the Parallax is going to be caught by Tundra. They're going all in for him. Going to burst him down in the background. Parallax is still barely left. Nice swap from Andromeda at the last second as well. Master of Arms in the midst of this. He's trying to run away, actually, from Parasite. But Parallax is dead. The only one to die so far. Meanwhile, a couple of different fights going on. Pharaoh gets picked up over here finally. And now Blitz also going to fall there. You see Wild Soul, he's well on out of the fight. Actually, he fought back. That's right. So complete cleanup here for Complexity. And they're going to chase down Parasite. They want him dead. Not going to be enough, though, for the catch onto him. But multiple fights taking place within the one there. Complexity dominates, though.
We were wrong. He just melted Wild Soul.
I guess so.
He solo killed him 100%. He got rooted and just auto-attacked him dead.
Yeah, no, I guess we underestimated completely. I definitely did.
Oh no, I understood that if he could sit on Wild Soul like that, he was gonna die. But who would think he would able to just sit there and right-click a Wild Soul like that?
Yeah.
So, wow, that was. I wish you could have like just to see the raw damage he just did.
Yeah.
Was just unbelievable, but.
I got the replay here. Yeah, I mean, I see it right there. Yeah, Wild Soul definitely dropped, and he popped back immediately, but it didn't matter. I mean, yeah, I guess I definitely undervalue this idea because now Wild Soul, when he is ultimate form, again, he does have plus 10, so he's looking around 33 armor or so, plus some other buffs that happen here or there. So it is a ton of armor. So from that perspective, as you pointed out, if they are all in on killing Wild Soul ASAP, then yes, there is a lot of legitimacy to it, and we showed that last fight. So definitely the correct call in the end, it's safe to say, by Formless here to go the Harkons. Won them that fight, no doubt. At least helped them win that fight.
I guess that's why he's the carry player.
Yeah.
Like that's I'm looking at it from my perspective. I'm like, why would you go Harkons? Even if their goal is to burst the Wild Soul, it's like, couldn't you just go pure damage? But
yeah,
I mean that was the right decision, and I won't question that kind of stuff anymore.
Hey, they're here to show us, prove us wrong a lot of the time, and I'm just fine with that personally. So it's fun to see that
True.
that next level play being brought, and again, we've seen Wildsel plenty. I can't say we've really seen a lot of Harkons with the idea to counter him. So it is fairly different than what we used to see, seeing at least right here. But again, that was just one fight, not to get over the top here as far as they had a win now, because they definitely don't have it secured just yet by any means. Still work to be done.
And that fight just gave a huge experience skew, though, and I think it's because most of the kills happened in solo range. And it was like a bunch of solo XP going in, because, yeah, I don't know. It's just that the experience lead was, I think, 4K before that fight. And all of a sudden, we're looking at 16K.
Got the Soul's Bulwark also now on Parasite, so again, the idea trying to both enhance but also tank up a little bit. Well, with that Harkons, it doesn't really care. Barbed Armor, an item we didn't really talk much about here on Pharaoh. He got it pretty early on in this game. There is the idea going back to Master of Arms, he could actually purge that off if he finds necessary. Now, there's a lot to be purging here, so whether or not it's going to be on that is, maybe not necessarily going to happen, but there is that possibility at least.
Yep.
So, has that there. As Lex Talionis purchased by Andromeda, actually, so.
Denied.
Up enhance some damage here.
Yep. Definitely not a bad. It's just going back to their all-in on the Wild Soul strategy, which worked that fight. So it's just going to be a matter of who gets jumped. Because, I mean, if Pharaoh can jump, the Deadwood without a Shrunken and instant kill him and make his level 3 punch, completely useless, it could be a pretty big.
Yeah, another big thing we did see that last fight. I know there's a lot to it with the Harkon smelting Wild Soul, but Parallax completely got locked out of the fight too. He got jumped immediately by Tundra and Deadwood, and he was completely out of it. So that idea that if you can get these utility heroes very early on, then they definitely set the pace of the fight. You see, once again, as I say this, Deadwood, they're hunting up here with the Shiver. They want to catch Parallax, no doubt again. They know his potential if he's able to kind of sit back. There we go, the sheep stick onto him, the jump on him, everything being used. He's barely alive. No, he does die in the end. He does have a buyback immediately, though. Here we go. Pharaoh in the midst of it with that wall back here. Wild still trying to chase, but again, the Harkons melts right through him. He didn't really have a supporting cast. They killed the melee racks. Pharaoh, or not Pharaoh, but Tundra does get picked up over here at least, as well as Deadwood, but they got what they came for, you could definitely say. They get the racks, and a second and final buyback on Wild Soul also used. Not looking good for Mint now.
Yep.
Push out the middle lane here.
No, it's just so many buybacks. Probus being out now is just... It's... like I said, it goes back to when they just did not take that fight middle when they really should have.
Yeah. Well, now you got the no buybacks on Wild Soul to deal with, multiple one buybacks, in this case Parallax and Parasite. Again, it's been a couple of critical things the last couple of fights. The Harkons, yes, is doing great against Wild Soul in the end, but then also Parallax. He literally has done 0 damage in these last couple of fights, at least in the beginnings of it. This time he having to buy back and getting some damage out, but for a hero that has such high potential to sit back and deal a lot of extreme damage in an AoE presence, being at 11%, and from what we've seen at these critical fights at least, again, it has been very minimal, unfortunately. So can't expect to win fights when that's happening, but obviously that's to the credit of Complexity with their priorities here.
Yep.
I mean, double Portal Key Sheepstick on the side. Like, you can't do anything against that. You kind of just have to accept it, really.
Yeah, it's just... Someone's gonna get jumped, someone's gonna die, it's a matter of what happens after that, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is the problem for Mint, is they had their timing, they didn't take it, they wanted to be passive, they wanted to take it late game, and it's coming to bite them now.
Certainly is. I mean, there's still hope here for Mint, but it definitely has died off quite a bit. At the same time, again, not having any more buybacks on your hard carry, it's always a poor feeling here. Parasite does get the full demonic breastplate, so again, good to have at least, but definitely not a very significant item that's going to change everything by any means. So middle lane, you see the Shiver again being sent out. Kind of scouting to see where they're at. You can tell Complexity, though, they've definitely got the map control now. You see Fresh playing very passive here now, sitting in their base really, almost waiting for Complexity to come to them. There's still about 4 minutes or so. I love this new timer on Kongor.
So helpful.
Yeah. It's about time. So, got that here.
There's the wing bow. And sadly enough, they still have Shrunken, so... I mean, Sheepstick, sorry.
Yep.
So it's pretty nullified at this point, and I don't see them winning a team fight anymore. It's going to be so oriented on them getting maybe a jump on Master and instant killing. Like, it's something like that needs to happen. Otherwise, I don't see a way back into this game.
Honestly, this all-in-ish idea, not all-in-ish, but this idea of wanting to, as we do see a build Rock right here, so let that play out.
Let's see it all.
Yeah, the Shiver. They're going to jump in the back. Guess who? It's Parallax. And Parallax does not stand a chance. He goes down immediately. Lightning seconds over here. Meanwhile, Master of Arms and Wild Soul going out in the back. But that wing bow, it's definitely having an effect. But the swap from Andromeda will save him for now as he continues to run. Blitz chasing him down. The puzzle box meaning Blitz is going to die, but they will kill Master of Arms back here. So Wild Soul remains alive with Parasite actually still in the fight. However, Tundra and South Force also alive. So actually not the worst of exchange in there for Mint in the long run. And the Wingbow definitely playing a critical role there in that fight.
Yeah, the Wingbow definitely 100% just kept him alive. And Formless really needs either the Savage or to buy the Spyglass, whatever he so chooses, but needs a way around the Wingbow at this point.
I was just about to say that's exactly what I was going to bring up right before that fight. I think Spyglass. Like, I guess if you can get the Savage, then you might as well get that, to be honest.
Well,
but what's that?
He has a Steam staff. It's like, just buy the Spyglass and place it. There's really no point to just have like this random Steam staff sitting in your inventory.
Yeah. You know, I was actually wondering if the Steam staff made a Spyglass because it kind of makes sense because of what the item looks like, but it actually doesn't. It is the punch dagger and then the pattern there. So, but yeah, back to the point though. He definitely needs that. I think if anything after that, how the last fight played out, he's going to realize that too, if he didn't before. If he feels like he could farm the Savage before another fight, I do think you go that because being this hard carry for the team, that's an item that seems appropriate. But if you need it sooner, then yeah, the Spyglass. With the change they made to it, it honestly isn't that bad anymore.
Well, even just the problem is Savage combos so well with Master of Arms with the massive attack speed.
True.
He could just buy the Spyglass just to have it now and sell it later if need be, but if they choose to fight without him having, either the Savage or the Spyglass, they could just lose. It could be that same even outcome, and it allows Mint back into the game.
Yeah, again, no, this is not a runaway game here by Complexity by any means. It's only a 5,000 goal lead. It's never been much more than 7,000, 8,000, I don't think. So it's not something that Complexity could feel like they have in the bag yet. I mean, having the top racks is, of course, great, but a Wild Soul, it's, we talk about all the time how you think hard carries in the game, and Wild Soul on paper technically is the hardest carry when you have 12 item slots compared to 6 for everyone else, but getting to that point, of course, may take a while, but that does exist there. But yeah, I think Parallax, it's got to be a really frustrating game for Sloske, and I'm trying to think of what can they do. I guess Storm Spirit is just one item that maybe comes to mind on somebody, but no one's getting it. I mean, Farrell's going to Staff of the Master, it looks like, which I don't know about.
That is, in my opinion, earlier game item on Pharaoh. If you're going to get it, you get it first or second. And I mean pre-25 minutes, 30 minutes. At this point, what impact will it have other than maybe being able to escape? That's really all it has. And I mean, the next fight is going to say so much. If Wild Soul dies, he has no buybacks. So why not go supportive defensive items to keep your Wild Soul alive that doesn't have a Shrunken?
It does feel like Storm Spirit is an item that would be pretty critical here. And yeah, getting a staff over that, it seems a little silly.
And then Probush just finished a Geometers, which I still don't know. He just needs a Shrunken. Just sell whatever, even sell the Firebrand if you need to. Like, if he's getting caught, Parallax is getting caught now, but he could get caught the exact same way and just, die the exact same way that Parallax is dying.
Yeah, and with how high priority Master of Arms made it for the Harkons, does feel like Shrunken more reason why it would be a critical item. So asking for a pause there. I guess they are out of pauses themselves. So I think Complexity may have one more pause left, I believe here. So just a quick AFK. Again, critical series here, as really the rest of these playoffs are. I mean, this isn't an elimination series, but you lose this, you are going down to the losers bracket, of course, and then it's you lose and you're done there. The other thing on that, too, is that if you get to the losers bracket, even if you make it back to the grand finals, which is going to be tough in itself, you're going to be down 1-0 in a best-of-5 series. So there is that advantage that does exist there for the winners bracket team. So it's very safe to say that you want to get there from the winners bracket. I mean, with that we've had that format for the longest time in the past. This season obviously was a little bit different with the winners bracket not having the advantage, but in the past we've had that, and stats showed, and with the result and everything, the team that got there up 1-0 usually won the series, and for good reason. I mean, that momentum is so huge.
Yeah,
going into it. So,
and then I do believe in a tournament like this that there should be some advantage for the team that fought their way through the winners bracket. So I do like to see that. I was actually just about to ask you if that's what it was. If it was still okay.
I remember. Yeah, I brought that up the last time I had you on. I believe so. I actually did confirm with Inklin after that cast there. So, yes, there is the 1-0 advantage for the winners bracket team.
MOA actually bought a Shroud.
Yes, so he did turn the Steam staff into that. Okay, that's what I figured he was going to turn it into. But now again, he doesn't have that evasion canceller. He's going without it.
I guess in this case of the Shroud having the mobility, he's not just going to die to the Wild Soul now. He might be able to sneak around and get onto the Parallax, get onto another target, and kite around the Wild Soul now, because now they have been going all in on this Parallax more than once. So if they can catch the Parallax, then they just leave Wild Soul till later.
Good to go now. 47 minutes in. So again, some curious choices. Definitely items that are being, causing us to discuss, of course. Is I think a good way to put it here. Now, obviously we were, at least again, I was definitely caught off guard by the Harkons actually working very effectively here at this point. But the lack of Shrunken and Wild Soul also helps that cause. Still not getting it just yet. And with his inventory, I guess, he still could definitely get rid of the Mystic Vestments here. Buy one for himself. He could put the Abyssal Skull on Boo Boo when it comes to that as well.
Yep.
Would be just fine. He actually, he's still just keeping Boo Boo with just the red boots, and that's it here. Nothing
There's
really more.
Kongor. This is an important Kongor, too. It's bananas as well, so.
That's true. It would be the third one. Happy Kongor there with the birthday suit.
He does look like he's in a good mood.
Yeah, are those like sad faces on his shorts that he's wearing?
Some of them are.
Some of them are. Yeah, why are they sad faces?
The one on the left leg, that is definitely a sad face.
What is going on, Kongor? What are you doing?
He's screwing up with his pants.
Yeah, it's 6-year anniversary, man.
He's sad.
6 years. He's like, I'm so old.
I'm so sick of dying all these
Sitting
times.
in this pit for 6 years. All right. They keep pushing out the top lane right there, of course. You got Wildsaw. No one's maxed out just yet either. We're now 49 minutes into this game. See Wildsaw at level 23, just about 24. Salfor is just hitting that 24 mark himself here recently. Both teams pretty content on, again, playing it fairly safe. You do have Tundra constantly pressure the top as he's been doing. Did I just see that correct? I think, yeah. Master of Arms just got a portal key. And it's being delivered here. So he gets both. Never mind, he got a Savage Mace. I don't know why I said that. God, I thought it was a Portal Key for some reason.
What did he sell?
What did he sell? Yeah, he sold
The
something.
Nullifier.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I think that's okay.
Yeah, Nullifier really hasn't been like very critical this game. So yeah, I think it's good.
It had its early game uses, and now it just, other than hitting Blitz a few times and draining his mana, it really has no other use. So
Yeah, I think you could say Firebrand and Nullifier Blade. Maybe you can sell the Firebrand instead, but I assume he's going to turn that into a Geometry
yeah,
right now.
he's gonna want Geos. So that's, and if they don't see this and don't expect it, Mint could be in a lot of trouble getting jumped.
Yeah, he's dealing insane damage now for sure. And with that, if he gets another one of these catches of 1 versus 1 against the Wild Soul, that Savage Mace should definitely tear through Wild Soul. That with the Harkons here, so.
I'm gonna say winner Master of Arms in that 1v1 next time.
Oh yeah. The stage right now, definitely the case. But again, Wild Soul maybe gets that shrunken head and assume that he would think that'd have to be next in line, really. His Master looking for a gank here, but Pharaoh's a little too quick. And we'll get back. So he's fine there, but we're in that stage of the game, obviously, where very later on, one false move can lose you the game. More so for Mint here. Complexity, not necessarily, but Fresh is in that spot.
They have the buybacks to give up. They have the buyback advantage. So as long as they have them, well, there comes the Kongor Force, and there's the bird spotting it all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Oscar's been making a high priority of, as any good Tundra player would. Just using the shiver constantly to make sure that where they're at. But again, it's happening pretty quickly right here. That's Wild Soul for you.
Tundra has the post haste. There's no way they choose to not go on this Complexity.
They're running over now. Yeah, you mentioned he does have the post haste. He's post hasting into the background. There we go. They jump Blitz actually with a Sheep Stick. Pharaoh catches them first, kind of though. They're killing Kongor, and Wild Soul will get the token. And Bananas were picked up. Oh no, Bananas are still there. Anyways, Blitz does get picked up over here. Meanwhile, Tundra goes down. So this time, Parallax is able to do a bit. He kills Tundra, and he gets the Bananas now. So all of a sudden, Mint a little bit scarier here.
This was a huge misplay by Complexity, but a really well played by Mint. Good for Probus to just sit in the pit and just take it. There was no, he just wasn't being harmed. He just sit in the pit and got it. And this could be a really impactful token. Now Complexity is on the back foot here.
Yeah. And there's the Shrunken by Wild Soul.
Ooh, this is a whole new game. This experience gold, throw it out the window. It's
Absolutely.
a new game.
100%. Again, we just knowing that if Parallax is able to also get at least a little bit of damage in these fights, not as quickly bursted, that his potential is very high as well. So the only advantage right now for Complexity is, I guess there's a couple, but one of the obvious ones, of course, the racks at top being down, and then, yes, the buybacks. But as you pointed out, Golden Experience really does not matter anymore at this point, as we're now 53 minutes into the game, and after the way that last fight went for sure. Parallax having the Bananas, I mean, that gives him a lot better chance now to actually be able to not only stay alive, but start actually doing damage in the midst of these fights here.
Yeah, but I think it kind of goes back to that same thing where I think I would have liked Wild Soul to take the Bananas and Parallax to take the token, because Parallax could just so easily melt, whereas Wild Soul could, at least be somewhat tanky with the wing bow. It just seems like it made more sense to give him the Bananas, but he took the token probably out of scared of them jumping into the pit with him, so
yeah,
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Exactly. I do think, yeah, that had a lot to do with it. If they were able to kind of sit there and figure it out, then, maybe a different story, but that clearly a fight breaking out right there, that he wasn't going to take any chances, so
yeah,
picks it up just fine. Nullstone is purchased by Parallax, so it does actually help him a little bit more survivability now, too. But both the stats as well as that effect there, of course.
But this is interesting. If Complexity can turtle out this token, it would be huge. If they can slowly, even, get Mint to fight when the token's like 30, 40 seconds away and just, defend and just have the token timer, and they could really force, Mint into a bad position if that token goes down.
Mm-hmm. And guys, this is just game number 1 of the day here. And we got Complexity versus Fresh here, of course, in this best-of-3 series. Game number 1 still happening, about 54 and a half minutes in here. We did have about that 15-minute break or so taking a little bit longer even, but overall, a pretty long game nonetheless. Wild Soul gets swapped in, by the way. This is going to be the token use. There we go. A bit was used, however. Here comes the Earth Shatter from Parallax. Do the Shrug and a Curse. Lloyd's out for us. He'll feel it. He feels the burn right there. He goes down. So now can they get another good jump? That Earth Shatter is going to wear off. There's a jump on a Parallax. And do they have enough damage? Absolutely. He goes down. Sheep's going to Wild Soul, by the way, in the background. And Master Bomb's able to put some good damage into him, but is it enough? It doesn't seem like it. He's staying alive to this. The lifesteal kicking in. Is it enough? Oh my god, he's actually still alive somehow. The evasion, and Wild Soul does survive through the onslaught right there. He's still alive with the ultimate form. He finally goes down. Quad kill all over the place, but Master of Arms falls in the end. Unbelievable. A genocide for Mint, with Parasite, the last man standing, as there's the buyback from Tundra and Master, and he will have to fall back. What a finish to that fight, though. How about Wild Soul, man?
Jeez, it's credit to Mint for kiting back like that, but Formless ran. He was running back and forth between the well and the racks for like a good 20 seconds. If he just would have stayed and auto-attacked the Wild Soul, that could have been so different. But Mick kited back far enough to not, put that awkward position on Formless not having full HP, so credit to Mint to really just man up and take that fight. And like I said, the golden experience means nothing, so this is still a dead even game, and now buybacks are practically even.
Yeah, they're getting there. Obviously, Master still has the one left, and I mean, everyone on this Legion team at least has one, so the good news there. But so still slightly in favor of Complexity in that sense, but knowing where this game was at, I mean, it really feels like that this is something that, Complexity, I don't want to say throwing necessarily, because it definitely isn't that. That almost takes away credit from Mint. But it's definitely a game that was in their grasp here, for sure, to take and move on. But Fresh here, they've been playing extraordinary themselves, and you got now Rift Shards on Wild Soul. Interesting decision there. He sold something. I always hate this. Oh, the Abyssal Skull? Okay, the token was used, and that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Abyssal's just on Boo Boo, of course. So, yeah, he didn't have to sell anything at that point. He's just hitting even harder now, and more chance for the that lifesteal to be effective. As Genjiro finished by Formless, by the way.
I was actually gonna say maybe the Wild Soul should go for a Genjiro.
Yeah.
Maybe him go for an item like that. Not sure if Rift Shards. Well, if the fight lasts like that, where he can just keep running back like that, Rift Shards will be great. But I just mean in terms of, if they jump him, if he gets caught, I was wondering if there was another item, and maybe Genjiro to give him the mobility, into the fights and out of the fights. But I don't think there's anything wrong with Rift Shards if fights play out like they did last time.
Yeah, Tundra again, constantly keeping the push going in one of the lanes here. This time now the bottom lane. Obviously the top one's been taken care of. Lord South Forest, the Resto Stone right here. And that was a big factor of last fight, too. I noticed that they used a lot, including the Undying on Parallax, to kill him early on. So when they did that, or no, that was actually on Wild Soul is what it was.
Yeah,
they
the
used
Wild
it
Soul
on him,
token.
and the token used, exactly. Yeah. So they didn't have one, obviously, for the second time around, and yeah. That lifesteal, if he's allowed to get it off, it obviously does wonders for him. So I think the Resto Stone actually makes a lot of sense now for Lord South Forest. Really wants to make sure to at least have an ultimate to use on Wild Soul here. So important to pick up. Alchemist Bones picked up by Andromeda, actually. It's that deal with Parasite, I guess.
Nothing wrong with that. He's a sacrificial lamb anyways.
Yeah. Playing that role. As long as he's able to get off an effective swap, then he's basically done his job there.
Wow. Andrew has the least amount of deaths in the game. That is something I've never seen before in my life.
That's the Andrew buff, man.
Well, first off, it's Love, who always has most deaths.
True.
And then Andrew, who's supposed to die.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's not,
That's
though.
a positive for Complexity no matter what happens.
1, 2, and 9. That is pretty impressive. And actually, I mean, there is a little bit more to that, too, because Andrew, yeah, we would say that it's a sacrificial lamb. That's a term that we use a lot, and because that's the idea of the hero. He swaps his teammates to save them and, of course, get himself killed. But if he's able to stay alive in these fights, the Aurora is obviously a great tool to take advantage of. But his Aura, the Dimensional Link, 36% base damage, pretty damn powerful. In fact, you know, you have Deadwood with it being affected by it right now. He's hitting for 250, 200 without it. That's 50. I mean, that's a lot of good chunk of damage right there. I can only imagine how much Master of Arms is doing when he happens to be near Andromeda. He's 333 right now. There we go, 395 when he's next to Andromeda. So,
yeah, it's a free. Oh God, what's it called?
what, like a
the
mock?
big, yeah, the one that builds into Mach. What
Sword of the High. Okay.
Yeah, Sword of the High. So it's like a built-in Sword of the High, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which I mean is pretty big. Think about it as using 3K gold on an item.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a nice tool to take advantage of. Again, if he's able to stay alive in those fights there, so pretty important. We've just officially passed the hour mark now here of game number 1. Wild Soul, I assume, has level 4 Rift Shards by now. Oh, level 3. Okay, so almost there. Needs the one more level, then he'll be good to go. But again, this is the good thing about Wild Soul now. Again, to also reiterate, couriers are not eligible in tournament rules at this point, the flying courier. So that does not exist still. And most heroes, as we've seen lately, you know, Salamon's an example of this, where he'll get capped, and then it's like, well, he sits on 10,000 gold, and it's like, what does he do?
Yep.
Wild Soul, he has those 6 extra inventory slots, technically. He already has Evo Skull. You get all these auras. You can get, you know, some useful items to kind of use as a courier, even. You could do the whole Ring of Sorcery, you know, puzzle box, even, if you really wanted to, things like that. So, but Build Rot use right here again. Again, the Shiver does see this, but the Shiver's not over here.
Everyone is mid.
Is in the middle lane over here, so not going to be able to see this Veiled Rot gank. The ward aside, obviously. Now it does see Boo Boo kind of running through. Oh, and that Tormented Soul, I think, kind of gives him information too.
Yep.
I don't know, but I mean, I know, yeah, he's wanted to scout with it, but I think that was the key for complexity.
That's a hard-hitting Master of Arms.
Double
Any
damage,
second
yeah.
now.
Ooh. Jeez. And that's in the red gun.
Yeah.
As quickly as he shoots, that's ridiculous.
That is going to hurt whoever gets caught by a sheepstick.
That Ganjiro.
That is
He's
your
gonna
sheepstick?
find Pharaoh. Oh, he's not gonna go for it. Okay. So the Storm Spirit, the Barbed Armor, he figured it might take a little bit too long. Not worth the risk.
What did Fuzzy Sloth's sheep? Because I know I heard it. It's on cooldown.
I don't know, actually, that. Maybe it was an illusion. Chef on accident.
Oh,
but
maybe. Well,
yeah.
Oh, his Geometer's on Wild Soul. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and Kongor's up. Wow, I feel like we just took Kongor. And we're back at it.
I know. This game is, this will be the 4th Kongor now. It's definitely getting drawn out here. Again, with what is on the line in the big picture, only one of these 8 teams, now 6 teams remaining, is, you know, getting that trip to Thailand. So
different guys sided with us. Kind of realized the staff was pretty useless and bought a Storm Spirit.
Oh wow, how about that? He has a Glows on a Mighty Blade, and then he buys a full-on Storm Spirit. Somebody's ghosting him. No,
Everyone's watching.
It really does make more sense. That is unfortunate that it took him this long to get it, you know, compared to having those other items. But at least he has it now, so that is good.
This is going to be the longest Kongor dance probably in Han history.
They're going to stay on the outside. But again, it's almost like, yes, there's the Hellborn advantage, but Shiver kind of changes that a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like you can't, yes, you can get it killed eventually, you know, he gets to snipe it out with a rocket or whatever, but then he just spawns another one and he sends it back out. It's like, he just ultimately can't stop it here if you're fresh, so just something you have to deal with.
It's, you know, oddly enough, that top lane hasn't proved to be the biggest nuisance in the world yet. Just kind of, it's done minor damage to the top tower, so, well, I guess a little more than minor. It's almost half.
Well, there's that, but there is the big picture too, where again, it does reduce the amount of gold you get from killing them. So
true.
There is a little bit of lost farm there for fresh on their side. because of the racks going down. But yeah, I'm also looking at all this gold being pulled up as we get to in cases like this, specifically on complexity side. What are you getting? 6,000 gold on Tundra. I mean, Restlestone honestly wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, no, it really is. It'd be a great item. I think it's just the factor of the buyback is more important to them than the Resto Stone.
Yeah.
But double Sheep, double Tundra ulti, that's 4 heroes that are useless, or 4 instances of of just someone not being able to do anything. So and it's the same way with the South Forest, the double ulti, the double Sheep. The Restos could play a huge part in this game.
His ultimate's 4-second stun. That really is a long duration. If he wanted to, he could 8-second lockdown one target just with that, and that's not even counting the sheep stick, which
15 seconds
of course,
if you
another
really
3.5 seconds each time. Yeah, so he's bringing a lot when it comes to the crowd control here. At least if he gets the rest of stun. I mean, he still is, but yeah, rest of stun doubles that obviously. So. Buyback though, a little higher priority for the moment it seems like. 3,500 gold though on Master of Arms, kind of the same story there for him. The buyback important, he still can and I assume will finish a Geometer's Bane. Here we go though, jumping to Pharaoh. Not the most prime target. Look at that actually, Master of Arms dropping nearly enough for a turn on him. Andromeda will this time play the Sacrificial Lamb actually. And he goes down. The chase continues on Lord South Forest. In the background, Deadwood jumps in. Not the best decision, though, he had. He's now in a lot of trouble. Earthshatter melting through him as well as Tundra. There's a Sheepstick, but the Earthshatter. It's just way too much. That mixed with the damage around, of course. Too much for complexity to handle. And now Master of Arms, actually, he's going to be jumped. He has to fight here. No, he pops the Kajiro. He can be seen by the puzzle box, but he gets the distance. And he survives in the long run. But Mint wins this fight, and now they're going to guarantee a Conger kill. It's starting to feel like Fresh is actually pulling ahead here somehow.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how. Like, I feel like Complexity has the better fight. They have the better... Well, right there, Master of Arms auto-attacked the bar 4 times.
Yeah.
Had half HP. That's not how you want to start a fight. So, I'm not really sure why they even want to go for these pickoffs. They should know at this point that Min is not going to leave each other's sides. Wherever one is, all 5 are going to be somewhere in the, near area. So they really should be prioritizing other kills or just not go for these pickoffs. Good news is I don't think they're going to have to use any buybacks. True. But another token and now 2 bananas. Yep.
Oh, and the Parallax? Oh, no, wait.
1 Wild Soul, 1 Parasite.
Parasite has one of them. Also, yeah, they gave Parallax a token this time. I'm watching the replay right here of that fight, too. Yeah, it really just goes back to like the rest of the fight, the way it's executed. Again, we've known this. Mint definitely has had a lot of potential. It's just them losing Parallax immediately is always kind of throwing them off in these fights. But that's been the biggest difference. They have not been able to kill Parallax right off the bat, let alone crowd control him enough. Whether it's the Nullstone pickup, whether it's just the jumps. I will say, going back to your point too, of the target choices here by Complexity, Pharaoh should never be, like, yeah, I know it's hindsight a little bit, and it's easier for us to say with the vision and everything, but if anything, you hope that Complexity will learn from that. Don't go for Pharaoh. Even if he seems like he's a free kill, open, in the middle lane, whatever.
He's not a free kill.
He's not alone. He's not alone. He's not a free kill. That will happen. You have to prioritize. You have to be disciplined and wait for Parallax or Wild Soul. Those are the 2 targets that you 100% need. So we'll see if Complexity has kind of learned from that or not moving forward.
Now this will be interesting. Complexity knows they're behind, and they would be totally fine with trading these Raxes right now. So this is going to be up to Mint to make the decision on what they want to do. There's the TP's back.
Yeah, not going to risk it. They're going to say, nope, we do not want to give you more of an advantage. We're going to go ahead and defend this bottom tower, so which is still up. Bottom and mid tower are still up as far as the base goes. They did lose a tier 4 top, of course, but still have the other one. But for that epic finish we had there last weekend in the Druids Polymorph series, it's feeling like we could potentially have another great one here. I mean, no matter what, it's obviously been a good game, but it's a matter if we get that crazy finish or not. So, and a friendly reminder: this is just game number 1.
Oh, jeez. More of this.
We're just getting started, Regross Day. We're already 2 hours into the cast. All right. It's going to be a long day, potentially.
Oh, interesting.
What's up?
They just all got off Discord. Okay, I think they're switching. So maybe there was something wrong with lag issue or something, but they're off Discord.
Well, that is the final pause there, I want to say, too. So you got to be a little bit careful at this point, you know, when you use your pauses here, because now here we are 68 minutes in, and it's a, well, obviously as they keep going at a very, very close game. So you hope that no technical issues happen from here on out for either side, and just get that clean game now. Looking back after that fight, again, just items and their progression here. Master, did he buy? How does he only have 800 gold? I know he bought the Kanjiro, but I thought
Wingbow.
more than that. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that
Soul
appears
Fire
in him.
and bought
That's
Wingbow,
right.
okay.
It changed into a Wingbow. That makes sense. Okay. That's that here. I was going to say the rebuy of the Shrunken. He only has 5 seconds on his Shrunken now, so. Yeah, there we go. Just confirming that.
There's the answer. Yeah, they were all 5 in there a little while ago. I looked in there and rip.
See ya.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. They're on Skype now. Can't confirm, so I think they're getting it figured out.
The in-game communication.
For competitive game, in-game, let's go.
I actually learned the other day, you don't have to have push to talk. You can actually have it set up to be,
Oh, just talk?
just talk. I didn't even realize that until, like, a couple weeks ago. So,
It's always been like that?
no, it hasn't actually. That's the thing.
Okay.
It was I don't want to say a very recent feature, but I think it did come, pretty recently at the same time. Because, yeah, I never knew about that, and I don't know if many people do, honestly. So, but that function does exist. You do not need a push-to-talk key. You can have it just pick up like Skype does. So, if you really want to use in-game, I mean, that is a possibility there. And the in-game, I think, is solid. But, yeah, usually you would want the outside, a third-party program to assist there. Okay. So, we are good. Are they going to keep this pushing? Look, oh, my God, they're post-acing in. Andra very greedily portal keys away immediately. I was going to say, that's a very greedy post-ace, but Oscar is like, all right, I made a bad decision. I'm going to go away. So
Actually, that... Okay, now Parasite is post-haste. Never mind, I was going to say. I was looking at Parasite's inventory, and I was like, oh, well, Parasite couldn't have been there. It could have been a really good fight.
yeah.
So... But... Has a demonic... And, oh, he got a Shrunken. That's what I was looking at his inventory and was confused about.
Oh, Parasite? Yeah.
Yes. Well, now would be interesting to see if he got some auto attack threat with the Shrunken Head.
Parasite is really interesting because the Draining Venom, potentially he can actually hit pretty hard, actually, with his right clicks because, again, the Draining Venom and, yeah, the synergy of the items.
Oh, Master Arms is between everyone. Do they know he's there?
How ironic he's sitting on top of a bound
Yeah,
eye.
right?
That's pretty funny, actually. But, yeah, Blitz has plenty of room. Pharaoh even does, too. But, they just don't know it's here, obviously. It's kind of hidden in the tree, so
Yep.
they can't pick it up, so. But that was a scary spot for Formless. He gets out of it, though. In time right there. Tundra did get the Resto Stone. Okay, he already has another 3,000 gold, too. Jeez.
Okay. Yeah, now he could safe buy it. Okay, this is the fight. Minute 20 on token.
It's almost like we're going back to the earlier game, because remember, Min was the one that was pushing earlier on in this game. As that was a long time ago now, I know, about 50 minutes ago, but
No.
they're like, never mind. They
can't.
They literally started pushing this middle tower at around the 20-minute mark, and it's now 70 minutes in, and they still haven't broken through.
What are they gonna do? Wait till they pool like 5-6 bananas and then just Wild Soul. Well,
Play to
over and
win.
over.
Play to win.
That's, you know what? You're right. I guess all power. I guess however they feel they can win, all power to them. Actually.
Yeah, it's no. I mean, there is a limit, of course. Yeah, it is a point of like, I mean, really, is that your idea? I don't think it is, but I mean, I do get it. It does feel like that these tournaments where so much is on the line, whether it's a trip to some major event, whether it's a really good prize pool, the play kind of takes a different turn to an extent. I mean, we've seen it many times in the past with the bigger LAN events, and again in cases like this where teams they'll start to play a little more timid than maybe usual, which again it's understandable. This is a once in a lifetime chance for a lot of these players really. So they really want to make sure they're making every correct play. And now I will say it could at times hurt you because there is the argument. It's like, why are you going away from what you've done in the past that's been so good for you, kind of deal. But I get it. Is I guess the point there. So
I mean, you think with Complexity's past of being that really strong late game powerhouse team when it came to team fighting, like this is Complexity's territory now. So Fresh is taking it really late game, but they have Wild Soul. They have the double carry in Wild Soul. Has he actually bought anything on Boo Boo? Now that I think about it.
The Abyssal is the only thing. Where is? Well,
I'm looking.
I hate this when Boo Boo's missing.
Can I?
Hashtag find Boo Boo.
Is there a way to click on the? Okay, I was gonna know if I could click on summon Boo Boo twice and it would bring me to it.
Where is he dead? Does he not have it? No, he has
Oh,
it
it's alive.
somewhere. Oh, it's on the base. Okay, it's at the obvious spot.
It's got a Veiled Rot and a TP on. Okay, so it's a courier. That's what we've decided.
That's what I said earlier. Yeah, it really is a courier at this point. You could do like the idea of put a puzzle box on it, and then go into a fight. You switch an item real quickly, activate the puzzle box, put it back on him. I mean, that'd be a lot of extra microing on top of what you're already doing. But
gets you a win. It gets you a win.
Exactly. So.
Yeah.
We'll see what Pro Boss has up his sleeve. Again, a very experienced player, and definitely one of these where, I mean, everything's kind of lining up that way, right? Like, this is one of these games where the potential's definitely there. As I even said earlier, we talk about it all the time whenever we see Wild Soul, this argument of, like, the hardest carry and the 12 item slots, but realistically, we never see it at all because the game just never lasts long enough or whatever. We're getting to a game where we could potentially see this Wild Soul, at least something like an 8-9 slot Wild Soul with this game. I mean, we technically really have a 7 slot here. I will go ahead and say, the Abyssal Skull I think counts as a legitimate item here. So
I think so as well.
Other than that, though,
it's so tense. Everyone's just staying on their side of the map except Oscar, who's venturing out into the top lane. But I mean, I'm trying to figure out what each team is waiting for, what they think I guess they're going to wait for the 6 items on at least the Mint side, on at least the Parasite, Parallax.
That, and again, I think Boo Boo, I think Wild Soul is a big factor of this. If this is another hard carry, like a Dark Lady, like any other hard carry, frankly, then, maybe they're not doing this as much. But why not? Why not delay it? Why not get those items?
So
hell, like a Mocker Brilliance, honestly, on Boo Boo, I feel like could still be decent.
If he could cancel the PKs, yes, but otherwise I think it would be coL starting the backdoor train with illusions.
That's where we're at.
They have broken the base down to 90, or taken down 90 HP. That is the game changer here.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying. Like, South Forest is pulling 7.3k gold. Can spend 5k at this point and still have a buyback. So I'm wondering what he's looking at.
5 seconds on the Shrunken, but I don't think he's at that just yet. He might want to buy something else first.
That's what. He doesn't have an orb, so maybe a Frost Wolf is possible.
Yeah, actually a Frost Skull I think would be pretty good.
Yeah, only one shrunk. Three shrunk. Okay, I lied. 3 Shrunkens. So, but it's still not bad. It's still yeah, they actually don't have a Frost Wolf.
Exactly. The aura effect, the slow in general, I think it's actually legitimate to have for sure on a team. So.
Yeah. Okay, so either Frost Wolf on South Forest or Tundra, one of the two. It might be better for Tundra because he's so in your face auto attack. But they need an item. Like Deadwood wants to finish his demonic. He needs, I think, 450 to have a buyback and finish demonic. So 600. So if he could try to get that and get the demonic finish, that could be pretty impactful as well.
True. Yeah, we're at that spot here of just like, let's just kind of guess what they're really waiting for game.
Yeah.
Trying to be in their head and figure out what they're thinking right here. This is obviously approaching one of the longer games we've had in a long time.
Oh, jeez.
76 minutes in. And, I mean, we've only had one game that's ever reached the over 80 minutes, I want to say. I don't think we've ever had a 90-minute game on Hot. Maybe we have had one, but
Well, Breaky, we're going to see it today.
it's very good potential, honestly, with how this game's going and being 76 and a half minutes in. Feels like that is high potential. So we continue on. Yeah.
Oh!
What's up?
No, I was just going to say, Probusk is making good use of his bear. He's sending it bottom with the Abyssal because it kind of just... Oh,
Yeah, they just caught Tundra there.
dead.
Yeah, so that's a kill. I don't think it's going to result in much, but that's still a nice kill. But you're saying, so with the Abyssal Skull buff,
Yeah,
he's helping the push?
Yeah, he's helping the push. So, in what you were saying, maybe buying a mock would be nice. If he's going to use it to push like that, then yeah. I mean, it could possibly be a good item.
Yeah.
Oh, Kongor's up. Buyback by
5.
Tundra. Here we go.
Okay. So I undervalued honestly that Tundra kill a little bit because it actually opened up the idea of Congo as we saw there, but as you know, he ends up using a second and final buyback. So actually a pretty significant kill in the end. Now he is out of them.
Now we are dead even.
Here. Yeah. Kinda. I still think Master having one is a little bit different. But
Yeah, but I think Master and Parallax some way kind of match each other. Well, not like to the fullest extent, but some way match. But Parallax bought a sheepstick,
yeah.
so that's their first. Wild still see. It seems weird to me that Wild still sitting on so much gold. He's got nothing to save for.
4,000 gold. Yeah, no buybacks. I mean, really just investing into that Boo Boo as we've been talking about. Where is Boo Boo now? At the base? No. Where is he? Top? No. Over here. Nope, that's Parasite. Damn it, where's Boo Boo? There he is.
I wish I
okay.
could just double click and find it.
I know. I want to make it easier. Okay, here he is. He has 4,000 gold, so he has to have something in mind, but, not there just yet. Whatever it may be.
One team has Rocket from Pharaoh and one team has Shiver.
Yeah, that's true. They both have pretty effective ways at kind of scouting the other team. That's a good point. I mean, think about the Pharaoh Rocket there. He has 3,900 gold. Speaking of Pharaoh, by the way, is he really just not going to buy a staff at this point? That's kind
It went back to my point of it was just so useless at the time he was trying to get it.
Yeah.
Like what else does that glowstone even build into? What could he?
A couple items. Nullstone.
Yeah, I think Nullstone's the big one there.
Spell Sunder.
I mean, Nullstone wouldn't be too bad if they jump on him and he's able to get his barbed off.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they jump Master of Arms here. Possible barbed armor. Deadwood's like, I'll take this for you with the Falcon Punch right there. Swap out on Master of Arms. Deadwood, he is dropping those. Sheepstick on a Blitz in the background. Not the prime target, honestly, but Blitz is going to die here. Down goes Deadwood, though. The 1-for-1 so far. Making that 1-for-2 as Pharaoh fell in the midst of it. You see the damage into Wild in the background. The Undying is on him. Parallax pops some bananas, by the way, and then the Earth Shatter as he takes out Andromeda. Now he's going for Tundra, and no, he realized with Master there, he needs to fall back, blink it away, but Deadwood's back. He bought back, post-hasted in, and now Parallax continues to run further, will actually escape in the long run. Is anyone jumping? No, they're not taking the risk right there, so he survives, as does Wild, so he made his way all the way back, of course, but Complexity.
That's a minor victory win there. Buybacks went in favor of Complexity. They did get one from
Deadwood.
Pharaoh and Parasite.
Oh, true. And then, yeah, Deadwood's won one as well, so 1 for 2
Yeah, Deadwood. So I guess that was... It's so funny when you have to look at the minor victories of buybacks at this point, where it's not like that team fight normally could be like the game-changing game over, but now it's looking at these buybacks into an 80-minute game.
Hey, the less buybacks we have, the more chance there is that this game can actually end. So,
well, I thought we wanted to go for the longest game.
Oh, we did. Okay, you know what? Yeah, let's.
Now we're looking at 90
2 hours, baby. Let's do this. 120 minutes. Let's do it. Totally in for that.
I don't even think a game could. There's no way a game could even last that long. Like, there's just no way.
Feels like it shouldn't. Yeah, unless teams are just both cooperating with sitting in base and choosing not.
All right, let's all go grab some food. We'll come back 20 minutes.
Yeah, take our lunch break, dinner break, guys. Okay, so But yeah, not having the buybacks on now multiple heroes again. This is where things start, ideally on paper, start to really truly shift here. More gold being pulled up across the board. Fuzzy 8,400 gold. He does have one buyback, but you figure that he has plenty here to buy something.
I think he's wondering the same thing of what can I buy that.
True. Are you there, Rigosto? You sound like you just cut out there.
There we go. But
Okay.
my headset did its great thing. I think he's kind of wondering the same thing of what item can I go? Well, okay. There we go. Wants the frost wolf.
What
Took him a little while to
okay.
decide.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess Tundra can't get it anymore. It's really not going to be possible. So, all right.
Has that coming? I think a portal key just purchased on Parallax as well on the other side, so it gets him a little more mobility now and more of a jump chance himself. That with a sheep stick, he definitely has a lot of that. He has 3,000 mana too, by the way, so that's another thing too that we kind of maybe overlooked a little bit, is that he's going to be scaling really well into this late game with all the charges and all that big mana pool of his now. 3,000.
Yep.
Good damage from him.
Has a portal key, but sitting on 4K gold. I guess he has the buyback. Okay. I guess he still has one.
Where is Boo Boo? There he is, bottom lane. Still nothing. I keep waiting to see something on Boo Boo. Nothing there, though. It looks like he did rebuy his Shrunken. He has a full 10 seconds Shrunken now again. So, next, I assume, is going to be something else now here for Wild Soul. Oh,
I
Boo
hope
Boo.
so. Oh, Tundra's alone here. He sees them, though. Okay. So he's kind of playing around it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're smoked. They don't see them into the jungle. Oh, this could be big. This could be the jump that Complexity's been looking for.
Possibly. Now, this Vorticite might have seen the courier right there attacking Kongor. So that was a little bit of a misplay from Oscar, unfortunately. Of course, he even shows himself now, so... But maybe a little bit of heads-up given a mint that, okay, what's going on? They're going to scout with a rocket, and they will see a couple more. And now it's their turn with the Veldorado. The counterplay, Pharaoh. Is he going? Is he going? Master's right there. He's the invis, of course. He runs on the uphill. He sees him now. He's going to be jumping. No, he misses, actually. He gets Tundra. Maybe that was his target, but Tundra caught in the background. There's a sheep stuck on the Master of Arms. Master of Arms melting. Master of Arms will go down right there. He's going to buy back, I'm sure, immediately as he does. But so far, Mint winning this fight big time. Andromeda going to get picked up in the background after her swap. You see Deadwood also melts away right here. So Fresh wins this fight 100%. As nobody dies on their side. They just melted Master of Arms there when they got him with the sheep stick.
Caught in the complete wrong area. Well, this is... Well, back to being a victory for Mint.
Back to that side now, yeah.
Yeah, it's just so back and forth, and this is another Kongor, but what does the token do at this point?
Another
give it to
Kongor. Wow.
It's like, what are you gonna do? Give it to Pharaoh? Like,
well, Wild Soul could give again one of its items to Boo Boo here, and boots. Yeah, he's gonna put the boots on Boo Boo, and he's gonna pick up the token.
Okay, all right.
The big ape dude lost his
Oh man, I guess he's a little bit off again with that buyback there, but I think we're definitely gonna do a point here for Master of Arms too. It's a Doombringer game. Now, what do you? I guess you could sell the Harkons to get a Doombringer, but is that even the best choice? Because Harkons is actually proven to be decent. So
it's almost sell boots. You have the Genjiro for mobility.
yeah, true.
It might be one of those kind of things where you're just slow and not have the mobility, but you can just, because he rebought his Shrunken as well. So if they can turtle out for a Doombringer. It could be into... Oh, the Boo Boo's going to have a Brutalizer.
Yeah, I just saw that. Brutalizer on Boo Boo. So finally, Probus really starting to build up the bear now. He's got the steam boots on him, so nice synergy there. That with the Brutalizer, just a little bit extra crowd control coming out early.
I mean, that bash could make a huge difference.
Oh, yeah. No,
Just
that's good choice.
Yeah, just a random bash on any hero really could make a huge difference. So, oh, this is a really intense game. Like, I wonder what both teams are just thinking at this point.
They're thinking we want this to end, but we want to win at the same time.
I guess that's the big thing.
Probably along those lines there. It's I'm sure even as a player now, hey, at the same time I know we've had these longer epic games and the players, after the fact we interview them and say like, oh, that was such a grind, but it felt so good to finally win. But yeah, it's exhausting for them, man. It's that mental exhaustion. And again, knowing that this is just game 1 of a best-of-3 series as well, that's got to be, especially on the losing team. It's a little easier when you win it, of course, but losing side, it's going to sting. Wild Soul, he gets swapped in, but no one really here. Back here, Tundra dumps Parallax. Complexity, they're very uncoordinated here, though. I don't know what the plan was. Down goes Tundra, as they are going to get Wild Soul in the background, actually, so maybe that was the plan, I guess. They finally do get in there and burst him down. Here comes the token, though, coming back up. Master of Arms struck at head, but again, with that stab of the Master on Parallax, so much damage going through. Master of Arms will fall. He tried to run the whole time, and he could not. Down goes Andromeda. No more buyback. They just did it. GG, well played. Mint breaks through, and they win the game just like that. And you gotta wonder if the fatigue really started to kick in there, because that choice by Complexity, they were on different pages, it felt like.
I think Oscar had an idea, and I think his idea was to do the Resto Sheep combo on Parasite and Parallax and get them caught in the back, and then the rest of the team can just kill Wild Soul twice. But it just didn't end up working out because Oscar ended up getting sheeped. He didn't pop his Shrunken. And I think that was the big thing. I think no Shrunken head on Oscar. I think that might have made the big difference there.
I got the replay right here. Obviously, we don't want to take too much time. A really long game. It's a different guy been pointing out what is it, hour and 26 minutes. Yeah, 86-minute match. I mean, that has to be up there. Again, I don't know if we've ever had a 90-minute match before on Honcast at least, but if we've had it, it's definitely only been one. So that has to be one of the longest, if not the longest games we've seen on Honcast. What a game it was there. That on top of a 15-minute pause that we have. Basically, literally, we're 2 hours into this broadcast, and we just finished game number 1 there. And we really started on time, too, so it's not like it was a late start. So point is, it was a long game. It was a long game right there. But we got game number 2 now, guys. Going to be coming up here. Ladies and gentlemen, it'll be fresh up.